Good evening and welcome to Monkeys with Fire. How are you today? I hope you've had a good day. So, as you know, tonight is, of course, Tabletop Tuesday, and we will be playing a game that I've been looking forward to since I received it, and that is, of course, the Smog Riders Dimensions of Madness from Scale 75. Yes, of course, as you know, this month sponsor has been Scale 75. I have been painting up Skylar, one of the Smog Riders, and tonight we're going to actually have a go at playing the game that she's part of, and of course then hopefully taking a look at the whole cast of characters that are available in the game. So let's get ourselves set up. Okay, here we go. Can everybody see the board clearly? Is the banner over the top left, you mean the Discord banner? That's only obscuring this area here, isn't it? Which actually, yeah, unfortunately, given the setup, I can't show everything, but what I have done is deliberately excluded parts that will not necessarily feature massively in the game, so we'll be okay. So the way this works, there is a central section that we are trying to get to. The objective on this particular mission is, let me just double check here because I want to get it all right. So this is the factory assault, and what we're trying to do is, well, certainly what you're trying to do is to obtain the blueprints to a brand new Poseidon cannon prototype. Now, of course, there are two factions in this game, and we'll get the names right. So we have the Common Steam Alliance, and that is whom we're going to be fighting against. So we're the bad guys, and we're fighting against the good guys. So the Common Steam Alliance are all the good characters, and up against them is going to be the Abysmal Empire. Of course, I suppose good and evil really does depend on your point of view. So, but the characters we've got tonight, and I thought I picked these because of whom I've been painting. So we have Skylar. Let's show her. There she is. Unfortunately, because of the way that the camera's focused in, I won't be able to focus in directly. So that is the tabletop version of her. But then characters we haven't seen. So that's it, yes, the mermaid. So we have, and I thought this was quite apt given some of my viewers' nationality. Hopefully I get this right. So this is, wait, Dwayne Vandershark. I thought this was awesome. Look at him. He's great. He's a great big shark. And then to finish off, we have Vikia, who is a crab lady. Look close to the table. How's that? Is that looking better? What we'll do, of course, we can take a look at these in more depth during a proper painting stream. It's unfortunately it's the trade-off. It's either you see the entire board or you see the miniatures. Sharp but small, yes. Okay, well there you go. There's Dwayne. We can show them all next time. So basically, the game is up to 4 players. One person plays as the defender, while the other players can play as attackers. So in this particular instance, to start off with, I'm going to play both roles, and then we'll go through the rules, and then once you think that you're ready to take over, then by all means you will take over the attacking characters. So in essence, if we had 3 players, there are 3 entry points to this factory layout. We've got the characters set up here, and that is the first entry point. And you basically come through into this area with your objective to come here. But the other entry points are up at the top here, coming in this way, or in the top here, coming in this way. And that's the reason why I've set the figures up here, because these are essentially the same distance, the same spaces to go through. There is nothing, no real difference. And in the case you're not losing out on seeing anything too badly. Vikia is a crab. Yes, she is indeed. Though she has a very sort of Egyptian style of headdress. But then she's got crab, or she's certainly sitting in a crab styled mechanical machine, because of course that's the idea of these Smog Riders, these steampunk styled characters. So, oh, you remember now. Okay, good stuff. So the way that the game plays, and this is where we'll just be a little bit clunky, but we will get things going. Let's just get to the appropriate page here. Okay, so the round of play is essentially, it is the attacking player's turn, then it's the defender's player's turn, and then it's the Stygian reaction. And we'll come to the Stygian Abyss. That is a separate board to which we will take a look at once we actually go into it, if indeed we do. So, as I say, the goal is for the attackers to work their way around, to get to these blueprints, to collect them, and to bring them back out via an exit. During the course of your turn, you basically have 3 movement points. And movement points can be used to move a space, just like so, or open a door. There is a door in front of me there. Or close a door, or open a portal to the Stygian Dimension, pass gear to a teammate, or pick up gear from a square. So you've got 3 movement points that you're able to do. Now each character has a number of dice that are allocated to them, and the dice colours represent certain abilities. Just get to this. So the blue dice, which Skylar has, is an agility dice. The purple dice is a magic dice, and the red dice are strength dice. And so yes, it's 3 points per character, so we've got a total of 9 points to use across the 3 characters. So at the beginning of our turn, or sorry, as the player's turn, we draw a magic card. So let's do that. What we're going to do is I'm going to do the entire game, both sides, to start off with, just to play it through, see how it works out. Okay. So we start off. We draw a magic card. This magic card is dodge. Ignore all the damages suffered by a character in the last attack. So that's quite a cool card to have. So we'll put that to one side here, and that can be used by any of the characters on the team. So now we basically have our movement. As I say, we can move a space, we can open a door, pick up past gear, move past gear to a teammate, or open a portal. Well, we're not going to open a portal just yet. What we want to do is we need to open up this door. So first of all, Dwayne is going to open the door. So I just turn this from a closed door to an open door marker and place that back. So that's 1 point from Dwayne, and Dwayne's going to work his way into this particular room. So that is 2 and 3. And then let's take the keyer in. Now you can move adjacent. So in this instance, you can do diagonal. So 1, 2, 3. And again, Skylar can do exactly the same. So 1, 2, 3. So there we go. So we've moved everybody up into that room. We've used up all of their movement points. It's absolutely fine within the rules. I did double check. And in fact, I even watched a Let's Play tutorial video to make sure that I was getting it right. Some games are very strict. So, I mean, again, you can shoot through open doorways so long as you have direct line of sight, so long as there is nothing obscuring your line of sight. And range is unlimited only by obstacles. So you could shoot from the entire length of the factory, so long as all the doors were open and this turret had been destroyed. So this is a turret here, be aware of that. In fact, it is a flamethrower turret. Okay, so we've entered into this room. Now what we've got to do is we've got to draw a room card. And so this room card, and place that just there. Can you see, shall I put that against this one so that it's contrast better? Is that good? So these are automatic defenses. So the penalty, if we fail to solve this room, is 1 damage to the attackers in the room. But the reward is, if we complete the room, is that we draw 1 magic card. Okay, so that's awesome. Now then, let's just take a look here. So there's also, we got the dice here, which is an alarm curse card. Whenever a die matching the number or any one of the numbers of this curse, the defending player will take a card. Okay, so how do solving rooms work? Well, you can see that there is a value of 22. So everybody who is in the room can pool their dice together to try and achieve the result. So let's clear off the dice tray to give us some space. So because all of the characters are in this room, we can use all of their dice. So we've got red strength dice, we've got a blue agility dice, and a purple magic dice. I don't know if this is going to... well, actually, if we put the tray in the middle here, sort of temporarily, we're able to do that. So this is basically the team all working together to try and resolve this obstacle. How's that? Does that look good? Okay, so we roll up the dice. Whee! There we go. Now then, if I'd got any 2s, a 2 would have meant that the defender would have picked up a defense card, but there are no 2s, so we're all good. So now we've got to add up the total. Well, there's 10. There's now 22. And in fact, there you go, there's the 22, yes? So we have actually defeated the automatic defenses straight away. All right, which is awesome. So that card goes there because it's been defeated. And we get to, as a reward, we get to pick up another card. And that would be one of the blue cards. And so this one is Mass Clarity. So this gives all of our characters 1 sanity. So this, when we go into the Stygian Dimension, now of course this is where the game's name, Dimensions of Madness, comes from, is that whilst we spend time in this sort of portal, we slowly but surely start to lose our minds. We are able to do cool stuff, but of course it's going to have a bit of a tax on our fragile brains. So what we need to do is combat this, and this card allows us to have 1 extra sanity. So that's rather cool. Okay. So we've done our room. And I think that is going to be it for the attacking player. Okay, so now we go to... Yes, sanity is brain armor, absolutely, yes. So now we go to the defender. Let me just... So again, they have a similar sort of setup to play. I'll move this out of the way. Just slightly different. So again, I will show you the card so that you can see what the defender is getting as well. So first of all, the defender draws a defense card. So that's one of these blue cards. So answer the call. Move a henchman from a room to any other that already has characters or not. Okay, so that means we could quickly move a henchman, but we don't have any henchmen out at the moment. Hello, my Freehold 13. Welcome to the channel and welcome to us watching us play a game of Smog Riders Dimensions of Madness. How are you this evening? I hope you're well. We're just going through the very first round of the game, learning it as we progress. Are you a board gamer? You live board games. Fantastic. Oh, that's good. That's the type of viewers we like. Certainly on Tabletop Tuesday. So are you aware of this game? Have you played it? Oh, right. Okay. Excellent. Oh, well, excuse me. Maybe this is a good way to find out if you like the idea of it. So we've just been, I say, going through the attackers round. Now we're on the defenders round. And we've just picked up a card. And for our turn, for our reinforcements, that is all we get to do in the 2-player game is pick up a card at this moment. So we have to start slowly. And because we've got no minions out or we're not doing any attacks, there's nothing else to do at this moment in time. Other than we will keep hold of that card. So I'm going to keep those cards there. And that is then the first 2 rounds, basically. The Stygian reaction would happen now, but since there is nobody in the Stygian void, the abyss, there is nothing to do, so we're okay. So it goes back to the attackers. All right, so Snowiak, you've obviously been watching. Did you want to control what the attackers do? Do you want to give me your commands? Obviously there is still a bit to learn as we go through, but we'll explain that as it happens. And maybe what we can do is we can split these characters up. So maybe Freehold, if you wanted to control a character, we can sort that out. You can often by a teammate, but of course you must be traveling to an empty space. So you can't end that particular character's turn on somebody else. Obviously, you can't do that with an enemy model. You've got to obviously engage in some sort of combat, or you've got to move around them. So right here, so you can see there is a locked doorway in front of you. So Dwayne moves 1 northwest. So he ends in front of the door. So he went from here. Sorry, 1, 2. He's got 1 point left, so he could open the door. And I'm glad to sort of hear that you've instantly warmed towards Dwayne Vandershark. I don't know if there are little shark emoji, you know, you need to find emoticons for sharks and mermaids and crabs. And open the door. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. So Dwayne opens the door. Okay. So who's next? Skylar or Vikia? I think what we'll actually do is we'll let each viewer control the 3 characters as one round. I think that's probably the easiest thing to do. So everyone gets a reasonable feeling of what it's like to control a team. So as I say, freehold, if you want to be the next person to control the team, then you are very welcome. Now this actually is going to be an interesting situation here, because your 2 ladies, Skylar and Vikia, they can make it into this room, but they would have to face the challenge of the room on their own. Dwayne is outside of the room. He can't contribute his dice to the challenge. So this is where the tactical sort of decisions come into play. Yeah, oopsie indeed. But that's okay. We're all learning, and so it's part of. So again, I suppose it would be a pause. Now, one thing I do need to point out: in order for you to win the game, you have to get I suppose 2 of these. It's 7 points, and each one of these are worth 5 points. Every time you destroy a turret, it's worth 1 point. So you need to get 7 points and get them back out of the exit to the exit within 8 turns, and you're on turn 2. So there is a time limit, so you can't just hang on. So Vikia, northwest, west, west. Okay, awesome. She's in. And so we'll put her dice in the tray, ready. And so it's Skylar next. Skylar goes northwest, west. She's in the middle there. Okay then. So again, I'm just going to flick back just to make sure I keep, you know, it's always the case with first time plays, isn't it? You got to make sure that you're getting all the turns right. And in fact, we've already done something wrong, so I need somebody to remind me. Before we did movement, you wanted to have drawn a card. So let's do that. So this is the walker step. One character advances 1 square in Stygia. Okay, now so let's explain. So that's a bonus. We should have picked that up before we did the movement, but it's not too bad. But let's explain how Stygia works. So it is a separate board. Bring it over here. What I'll do is I'll get one of my characters to show you. So when you decide to, well, actually no, I'll use yours. When you decide to go into the portal, you have to give up one of your dice. So Valkyrie, or Valkyria, would give up a dice, and you decide where you're going to place the dice. The vortex is numbered 1 to 6. So you start at an entry point, and you place your token to say that you have mystically gone into the portal. Each turn you can use your dice to move 1 section closer to the central eye. When you reach the central eye, you're in some ways omnipotent. You can affect things in every single room within the dungeon, the factory. when you are in these two spaces, you can only affect things that are one room away from you. So in this case, it would be the main area here or the room back here. Okay? And what this means is that even though you're not in the same room, you can use your dice to add to vote that team's pool of dice. So you've got to kind of imagine that if we had more players, if we got into the center and we have a team over here, you'd be able to add your dice to that team's pool. And that's a great bonus for that team, certainly if they're being waylaid by lots of the bad guys. The thing is, during each round, this vortex keeps on trying to push you back so that you fall back out. Okay, and as we've already explained, you are developing a degree of madness whilst you're in there. Now, Vikia is not a good example. Her madness level, she can take one hit and that's it. So she would get pushed out pretty quickly. Okay. Granted, of course, you've picked up a card that would allow you to boost that amount. So that would be a bonus. So I don't know if we're going to have to use the portal in this game, given that we've just got one team going on in. I don't think it's going to give us that much of an advantage. Okay, so but that would be the walker step, and so you would actually be able to use that card to move quickly 2 steps as opposed to just the 1, which of course is what you want to try and do. You want to get to the center as quickly as possible. Once you're at the center, you're no longer affected by the tidal path trying to push you back. So we are in that room, or you're in that room, so now you've got to face the challenge. So let's put the tray in the center. Let's see what you're up against. And you are up against the ultra sensitive alarm. And there are 2 dice numbers here. Now, again, something else that I probably should mention. The different characters, they have a main attack, a secondary skill, and a special skill. We'll probably end up doing some combat very, very soon. So we'll get to see how those work out. But it's interesting that the special skills, so Skylar is immune to the Stygian tide. So we talked about the tide trying to push characters out. She's immune to it. I suppose because she's a mermaid, she's able to swim through the cosmic tides. Dwayne Vandershark, he can receive 1 damage from an adjacent teammate. So because he's a big bruiser type of character, if a teammate who's next to him has taken damage, he in effect can take that damage from them as if he was the one who was damaged instead of them. So that's quite cool. And Vikia, when she's in the Stygian Dimension, she gets to win a magic dice. So that's adding to her potency as a character. So that's quite cool. And of course, all the characters have special abilities. And of course, it's a case of trying to work out the team for the best abilities to work with one another. But we're working with the ones that we've got here, which was suggested as the example. So what we have is you have an ultra sensitive alarm, and let's just double check here, make sure we got it right. It is an alarm curse card. So if you roll a 4 or a 2, then that will give the defending player a card every time you roll a 4 or a 2. So the penalty is if you fail to defeat the room, then the defender draws 2 cards. Wow. So this can really mount up. So you could effectively, if you fail on the first go, the defender's going to get 2 cards. And if you hit a 4 or a 2 during any of your dice rolls, then they will potentially get a card per roll. They would still count to the value, yes, but of course it would mean that a penalty has been hit. Once you've defeated the room, you get to draw 2 magic cards. Okay, so you have effectively got these 4 dice. And you know how bad I roll. And in addition, just to you can you see this icon here? So that's a turret. It's a level 1 turret. And so I get to place this turret down just there. Okay, now, so we've got to try and defeat the room, and you've also got a turret to defeat. Let me just double check here. It's all being thrown at you now. Okay, so basically, to destroy a turret, you need to do 1 damage, 1 hit. That's all it takes. Okay, so that's not too bad. If the turret survives, it will cause 1 wound to a character that it has a line of sight of if I roll a 5 on the black dice. Okay, so in essence, you've got to roll these dice. You want to get enough to complete the room, and also, right, to be able to do your main attack. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at what it requires for you to be able to do a main attack. Because this is you got to think of this. This is the abilities of these 2 characters, and they are pooling them all together to try and achieve the objective, which is to solve the room and also potentially to take out the gun. So, the Kia, to do a main attack, to do 1 damage of melee combat, she requires values on dice of 7 or more. If she uses 2 red dice to achieve that, then she would stun the character as well. Obviously, you can't stun a turret, but if it was a minion, then you would stun them. So there's a bonus to using specific dice. So she needs to get 7 or more to do 1 point of damage. Skylar, for her main attack, her attack is ranged, and she does 1 point of damage, but she needs 8 or more. Okay, and her special ability, let's get this right. Sorry, I'm just looking for the appropriate thing. Ah, right. So if she uses in her attack a magic dice and an agility dice, right, she will gain 1 health point. So that's kind of cool. Okay, but of course, she hasn't lost any health at the moment. So you're going to focus on the turret. Okay. Well, let's roll the dice, let's see what we get. But I'm trying to sort of explain how everything sort of works. That's why having 3 people in would allow more dice into the pool. Having somebody in the Stygian Dimension would potentially help out. So you can see how the different elements of the game are starting to come together. But let's roll these dice and see what we get. Get a good shape. Okay. So then, the Kia needs to be adjacent. So that would be 7 for the Kia, but the thing is she's not adjacent to it. So that's no good, because she's a melee warrior with her great big crab-like pincers, yes? But it doesn't matter, because we don't have to use the specific character's dice. It's a dice pool. So you can use 8 dice for Skylar, who can do ranged to hit. So she could do those. And what she could do is her special ability is if she used a magic and a dexterity, she would gain 1 health. So in fact, you could put 9 in. So let me show you. Oh, you can see the card. That's good. So we put the dice in. So you can see how those dice have been played for her. And that means now that those dice are out of the pool, there's only 3 points left to put against this card. Right? But she's successfully managed to do that 1 point of damage against the turret. And so a player who destroys a basic turret gets 1 steam power. Now, steam powers, special tokens, they are used to basically enhance your character. It can do if you want, or you can just take it back to your dice pool. So it's up to you. One other thing that I haven't mentioned, there's quite a few things I haven't mentioned, is it? But we're working through. You have lucky charms, luck tokens. And what they will do, just get to the appropriate page. You can re-roll any number of dice, or you can use a luck token to escape the effects of a curse. Okay, so the dice rolls that you got, the curse is not going to take effect, but the penalty is going to take effect, and this room is locked. You've still got to achieve that result. It's group pooled. So I'm going to put that so that you can see them. Is it better over here? You can see you've got 3 lucky charms. And actually I'll put them there. So you can see against it. Yeah, okay. And you've got 1 steam power. We'll put that up at the top there. Steam power, I believe, powers various weapons that you might pick up as you're progressing through the game. Okay, so what this means is that we haven't been successful in completing this room. So we'll put that card just there. This dice, do you want to put it on the room, or do you want to put it back to the character so that you can roll it again? On the room, okay, so that's just going to go on there. Okay, and you did successfully destroy the gun, so that's been taken off. So, but I get to draw 2 defense cards. So I'm going to take that one. And I'm going to take this one. Okay, so now I'm not going to be showing you what my defense cards are. Okay, and so now effectively all the dice go back to the appropriate characters. So those go there, that goes back to her. Those are back here, okay? And that is the end of your turn. So now it is my turn. So let's get this right. So I draw a card. So okay. And now what I do is I bring in my reinforcements. And on turn 2 of a 2-player game, I get to put down a turret. So you got to imagine there are turrets in all the walls and ceilings. It's all that type of stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the turret right behind you. It's popped out of the wall and it's got Dwayne Vandershark in its sights. Okay. So we've got our reinforcements. I've got no moves to be done. And so I now get to do my turret roll. And basically, my turret, it has got clear line of sight to Dwayne. And a level 1 turret, right, will do 1 point of damage on a roll of 5 or more. So with this 1 black dice. So let's see what we can do. Oh! Chicka, 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 chicka. This turret is clearly operated by stormtroopers. So that was no good. Okay then. So that is the end of the defender's turn. Does somebody want to take over from Snowyak, or is everybody happy for Snowyak to continue? I want to sort of keep this open as far as we can swap players as we go through. Okay, Snowyak, I think it's for you to go. So again, let us just make certain that we're doing everything right. I think we're getting the hang of it now, aren't we? Hey. Sharkman. Sharkman is melee combat, and he's quite devastating. So you need 7+, and if you use 2 red dice to achieve it, he hits all characters in 3 adjacent consecutive squares. So he's going to go east. So he's going to come here. He's going to take out this turret, isn't he? Yeah. Okay, that's his movement. The ladies can't move because this door is locked. You can't get past it until you have defeated. He can't move back. Once he can move and then he attacks, but that will be it. So you've got to decide: is it better for him to come and join them? Let's put him back there just so you can go through this. Is it better for him to come back here and pool dice together, or do you want him to take out that turret? So he's going to go west, north, west. So he's out of range. Okay, well, he's out of range because she will take the hit. The way that line of sight works is this turret can effectively hit anything in this room through this doorway, because it goes from either of its points to the nearest point there. So in fact, even these ones that you think are behind a corner, they can still hit. The game is very relaxed on the line of sight rule on it. It doesn't get itself bogged down on it. So he was here, so he could have gone 1, 2. So you want to go 3? He's not called Shark, he's Mr. Shark to you. Dwayne to his friends. So the kid closes the door, cha-chunk, and goes west, southwest. Next time. Okay. And is that it for your movement? All hit the room. Yeah, sounds like a good idea. So again, we'll put the dice tray in here. So you've already got 3 saved. 4s and 2s is what we don't want. Oh! Right then. Decision time. So you have... Well, first of all, you're 1 point short of completing the room, so you fail again. But also, you've got 3 2s, right? To which that would mean I'd be picking up 5 cards. Okay, now what you can do, you could use one of your lucky charms. You could bank these, put them on the card, and re-roll these dice. Spend the luck point, yep, good idea. So we'll take one. We're going to re-roll these or re-roll. So we're going to re-roll these 3, yes. So we can bank these, yeah. I think that's probably a good idea, isn't it? Right, okay. All the 2s. Bank them. Here we go. Boom! I think we're safe to say that that was a good enough roll, yes? So we successfully... It's a 27 there. Okay, so this has been destroyed. And you get to have 2 magic cards. So you've got Mental Clarity. The player is immune to the Vortex Curse until next turn. Oh yes, of course, yeah, you've defeated the room, so you still get the cards. It's absolutely fine. And Deactivate. Resolve immediately an active room. Ah, so as soon as you would have... Something like this, you would have just instantly resolved it. No messing about. So that's really cool. You want to remember that one. I will say something. Obviously, I get to play a lot of card and board games. These are some of the nicest cards I have ever seen as far as the production value of it. The artwork is wonderful, of course, but these are proper laminated, thick cards. They're like little sort of, you know, mini business card types quality. Really, really nice. No, because you re-rolled your dice. Those weren't the dice that were set. That's the advantage of being able to use the lucky charm. So yes, so you've done all right on here, but you have lost one of your charms, so... Let's put the dice back to the characters. Good evening, Rhyme. Hope you're well. Hope you've had a good day. Or about to start a good day. I think it will be more than the case. No problem. It was worth it. Indeed it was. Okay, so... Shall we continue? So it's my go, I guess, now, isn't it? Yeah? So you've successfully done that. You've locked the door behind you. You've resolved the problem. We don't have to go to the Stygian Dimension, so we're all good. So now we go to the defender's turn. So I get to draw a defense card. Okay. And then I get to do reinforcements. Aha! And finally, I get to have some fun. So my reinforcements now is it's a minion. I'm going to find myself an appropriate character. Ooh, who should we go for? Right, I think we shall go for... Here we go. We're going to use Dolly Tombstone. Yeehaw! Let's find her. There she is. We have the beautiful Dolly Tombstone. She be a cowgirl with a 6-shooter. So the way that the game works is that you're currently playing on the attacker side of the card, but I'm going to now start playing on the defense card. So I don't have any special abilities. I just have my health. I have 2 black dice, and I have up to 8 points that I'm trying to achieve. She does 1 point of damage range every time she gets the +8. So that's my gal. Now the great thing about it is that my characters can appear pretty much wherever they want. I can put them anywhere on the board. I could put them into this room if I wanted to. She kind of gets herself in via a secret passageway, surprises you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put her in there. Right. So one little rule. The blue dice, which is an agility dice, you can discard that dice during your round, and it gives you an extra 2 movement points. So in other words, Skylar could effectively have 5 movement points in a turn, but you won't be able to use that dice as part of the dice pool. So that's worth noting if you wanted to move her quickly. So here we go. Kakala opened the door and they do 2 attacks reusing her dice. She would have to move into this area. She's got to be in the room for you to be able to use her dice. If she stays in this room, she's not part of this room, and hence you can't use her dice. So that's the dice pool that you're forming. Yes, per room. Yeah, that's probably a good way to look at it. Yeah, for sure. So in other words, you could take 2 characters in here, pool their dice for that room, and this one character stays here, and those dice are pooled together there. But first things first, before you even start doing anything, you get to draw a card from the magic deck. So let's see what you've got. Give breath 2 life to one of your characters. Oh, that's cool. So Mr. Shark is going to open the door, so that's 1 point. And then is he going to go southwest? And then what? It's up to you. Move southwest, southwest. 1, 2. I will point out, if you destroy this turret, you're effectively destroying this generator objective, and that gets you more points. So Vakia moves northwest, northwest. 1, 2. She's got 1 more point to her. West, yeah. Gets you in range for this because she is a melee attack. And now, so remember, we got Skylar the mermaid. If you lose your dexterity dice, she can move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 into this room for 5. But remember, you're going to activate this room and you're going to activate that room. You could open the door and not come on into it, keeping her dice in this room, but you would still be losing this one, of course. Depends how you want to plan it. So Skylar, southwest, southwest, west. Southwest, southwest, west. Okay. So that looks like all of your movement done. Shall we find out what's in the room? What are you up against? So, okay, astral defense. So let me just get this right here. So this is now a blue penalty. So this is a Vortex Curse card. Whenever a die matches the number of any one of the numbers on this curse, that die is temporarily removed from play. This die is lost and may not be used again until the next turn. So in other words, if when we roll your dice, if you roll a 5, that 5 is taken out of the game for this entire turn. Okay? You need to get 19. But, if I remember rightly, okay, you do have the card of Mental Clarity. The player is immune to the Vortex Curse until the next turn. So it's up to you. You could mitigate this issue and hopefully resolve the room and defeat it while you can in one go. What do you want to do? I'll just... Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. That's the best card you've got. So we've used that, so you're only up against... Okay, so the penalty, so if you've got to get 19. Okay, so the penalty if you fail is it's 1 health point to each attacker in the room. Okay, so you'd all lose 1 health. The reward, on the other hand, is look for an object of your choice in the deck and add it to one of your characters. That's really cool. We can go through the entire deck and find an object. And of course the objects are something that really do help out. So 6 dice versus the room. Okay. Well, after 19. As Paul Hardcastle once famously said, no, 19. 19. Okay, here we go. Whoa! Okay. There's 10. There's 5. There's 19. There's 2 left over. Okay then. So this is interesting. This is very interesting. Oh, here we go. Let me just double check this, because again, we are working to sort of, learning the game as we go along. Right then. I rolled a straight. Oh yes, I've done everything, haven't I? Yes. Good call, yeah. Ah, you see, my dice rolling can bring you out of lurk mode anytime. Okay, so, well, here we go. So this is now the intricacies of the game. So you can clearly see that you've got your 19 points. You can defeat the room. So you could look for an object, but you've got nothing left to use against the turret or use against Dolly Tombstone. Okay. Alternately, this is where you can start working things to your to advantage. So that 5 plus that 2 is 7. That would give you 1 melee combat. For Dwayne, if Dwayne uses those, he can hit all characters in adjacent consecutive squares for 1. So up to 3 adjacent. So 1, 2, 3. So he could do 1 point of damage against the turret, which would destroy it, giving you a victory point, and he would do 1 point of damage against Dolly, who only has 3. Yes. Yeah, you can. Again, this is the thing about it, the game is it's up to you how you spend these dice. You've used your abilities, and now it's a case of, are you going to do it against the room? Are you going to do it against the actual adversaries in the room? It is up to you how you work it. So range, he's at range 3. So it's kind of, he's doing melee combat, but it's a sort of thunderous blast that's come out from him. So hit all characters in 3 adjacent consecutive squares. So 1, 2, 3 would quite. I'm counting that as 1, 2, 3. I'm counting that those would be, you'd be able to hit them. Yeah, well, if you look at the character, he's obviously got a great big roaring mouth. He's got a anchor. He's got a hook arm. So I think he can do lots of stuff. But 1, 2, 3, wasn't it? That was how he was. So you could do that for him. But it says 3 adjacent consecutive squares. So does that not mean that they are adjacent to one another consecutively? I mean, if I'm reading this wrong, then there is no sort of clarification on it. We've just got to interpret it. So, okay, hits all characters in 3 adjacent. So it's either consecutive. Well, consecutive would say a line, wouldn't it? Because that's the first adjacent, and that's now a next adjacent, and that's now the final adjacent. It's not as if he was going 1 and then 2, 3. So they actually do form a line. That's what I would read it. Oh, so you're thinking 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, you know, I suppose you could interpret that, but I don't know. I like the idea of him doing some sort of thunderous attack, and I think that, you know, so long as we can form a link, a 3 to hit to there, I think that's fine. I'm good with it. Right, so you're saying 1, 2, and 3, something like that. Well, I think in that case it would have just said 3 adjacent squares. It wouldn't have the word consecutive in there. Because adjacent would be all around him, wouldn't it? And so you could choose any 3. Yeah? But I think because it's saying consecutive, you can form a link. So again, given his movement, if you wanted to have had your guy finish there, now that we kind of understand that, because yeah, I agree, if it's all in a line, bam, 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 coming out from him, then I'm happy with you to move your guy to there to allow that maneuver to happen. Because it would still be within your movement range from what you did originally, because you were here, so you 1, 2, 3. So, but that's if you want to do that. So that was one hit. Skylar, she can do ranged. She needs 8+. So that would do her. And unfortunately, so it's a choice. Certainly, Valkyria could do. Right, it's got to be no. Valkyria is not in range, so it's got to be Skylar who can do ranged. So you could effectively do 2 points of damage against Dolly, who's got a maximum of 3, so it'd only have to hit one more time. So you could take out the turret and do 2 against her, but you would all lose 1 health in the room because you haven't succeeded to defeating the room. So I think there we go. We've kind of gone through the options. What do you want to do? And after all that, you're doing the room. Okay, fair enough. So that and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's the room done. So you get to go and have a look through to pick up an object. So let's take this. So we've completed that. Awesome. You still got those. Let's just put these dice back to characters. Okay, you can take obviously so one object. So you've got the Vigor Talisman. The equipped character is immune to poison and stunning. That's cool. There. You've got the Stunner, which is a ranged weapon, 7 or more. Does 1 point of damage and stuns, but it also has a special ability where you can have you got to do a sequence of dice. So it's a number, then it's a number +1 on that number, then a number +2 on that number. And that being the case, you receive a steam power and you do 1 point of damage and stunning to all the targets in a straight line. Oh, sorry, you've got to use a steam power. So basically, it would stun everybody in a straight line all in one go. That's quite cool, but you'd have to use your steam power token to fuel it. A compass. Get 1 extra movement point for the character. Again, if you use a steam power, you get 1 movement character extra for all characters. So that's cool. Archimedes, change 1 die of your pool for another kind of die. Steam power, change up to 3 dice of the pool for other kinds of dice. So you could turn all of your dice into dexterity dice. That means you could run real fast. Steam generator, spend 1 to 3 dice for 1 to 3 steam power. So you can generate, using that you could generate steam power which would fuel the other items. The devastating, that looks like a fist glove. Yeah, sort of a melee combat. So you're doing 2 points of damage, bashing the hell out of people. Medical kit, spend a dice to get 1 point of health back. Spend a 6 plus 1 steam power gives you 1 health to all characters. And then Steam Justice basically is a sawn-off shotgun of justice. So there's a good selection of items there. What do you want to go for? Steam generator, build for the future. Ah, good idea. Okay, whom are you giving it to? So Vakia's got it. Okay, So let's just say spend 1 to 3 dice for 1 to 3 steam. So in other words, I think you just have to donate dice to it. But it does have a bonus. So that's the basic. Ah, right, but you discard the card after using it. So it is a one-off. So Vikia's got it, so I'll give her the icon. It doesn't say how much characters can carry, so it's fine. So if you do a dice of +1, +1 steam, 1 health to all characters, and so it's 1 damage to all characters and turrets in the room in a 2x2 square box without line of sight. Yeah, I think it's a one-off. So basically, so you can either spend just 1 to 3 generic dice, any results. To get the 1 to 3 steam. But I don't understand why it would say 1+. Let me just have a look at what the dice roll reference is being referring to. So yes, so in other words, it's any. Oh, hang on a second. So no, steam generator. So let's get this right. You've got to spend dice that have a value of 1 to 3, up to 3 dice to get up to 3 steam, or you can use a dice of any result +1 steam power to basically set it as a bomb. So that's the difference between it. Still very, it's quite powerful, that. Let's put that there. And so you do have your 1 steam power. Let's put that just there so we remember. Okay. So you successfully managed to defeat the room. But of course, now we do have our turret that can attack you. And we do have Dolly. So let's just double check. So we've got to go through my process now. So I get to draw a card. Oh, wrong one. That one I want. Yes, that's it. Okay. And then reinforcements. So it is 1 turret and 1 card. So let us put a turret. Chicka, 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 chicka. Put a turret in there, and I get to draw another card. I'm going to have to start playing some of these cards. Okay, so my turret. So I get to roll. Whoops. A dice for the turret first. So it is, well, I've got 2 turrets, haven't I? So the turret here, so long as it's got line of sight, so it's going to attack Skylar. I need a 5 or more. Oh, so that's 1 damage against Skylar. And now, this is a flame turret. So it causes a wound to all enemies in line of sight from the room with a roll of 5. So it has got line of sight on all of your guys. Well, fire monkey summoning the fire turrets, absolutely. So all I've got to do is get a 5 on this dice, and you all take 1 point as I bathe you in flames. Here we go. No! No! So close! Okay then. So that's the 2 turrets done their shots. And now... Yippee! And now Dolly Tombstone comes in. She's got a ranged attack, 8+ for 1 damage. And she will do it against Skylar. No! So now Dolly Tombstone has gone to the same school as Stormtroopers, so she's rubbish. Okay. So now it's your turn. Now, of course, you're in the same room here. You do not have to defeat the room. The room has already been defeated. Okay? So the only consideration is if you came into this room, you would then have to challenge that room. So I don't know whether you'd want to clean out this room first. Of course, that's your decision. It's up to you how you play. So just so you know, these both take 1 hit each. And she takes 3 hits. So Dwayne's going to go west-west. 1, 2. Bakia is going to go west. Yeah, that sounds all good. What's Skylar doing? Skylar's west. Cha-chink. Do you want her to open the door? Remember, opening the door is not coming into the room, so it's okay. Yeah, open the door. Okay, awesome. So, door is opened. It does indeed. Right then, so are we going to try the dice pool here? Are we throwing all the dice on in? Attack, yep. Well, we can just... Oh, hang on. We've not drawn a magic card for you, have we? Need to do that first. Look! Win 2 luck points. Lucky, lucky guy. So, there you go. 2 more luck points. Yippee indeed. Alright then, let's roll these bones and see what we get. So we roll them all up and then it's a case of, okay, what we're going to do with them. Right then. So, if Skylar wants to heal herself, she can use those 2 dice and instantly get 1 health back. Okay? And Dwayne, he needs to get 7 or more. So there's 7 or more and with 2 reds. And Vakia needs to get 7 or more. 4, 5, 6, 7. So So then, they could all work here. Now here we go. It's interesting. So for Kia, if she uses her 2 red dice to attack Dolly, 2 red dice would mean stunning. So Dolly would get stunned. We have to get the stunned character. Hang on. Where's my Dolly? Where are you? He's in here somewhere. There we go. So what would happen is we would replace Dolly with the stunned. That means I couldn't use her in my turn against you because she's flat out on the floor. All right. So it's something to consider. And then the other attack could be used against the turret. But it would mean that one turret would still be out of it. So you're going to stun Dolly. So that's going to be Vakia. So she's done her bit. So they go over there. Dolly is stunned. Okay. Is Dwayne taking out the flamer or taking out the ordinary turret? Damn you. Okay, so the flamer is destroyed. And for that, you get 1 steam power. Awesome. So that's Dwayne done his attack. Now then. Well, this is interesting. So, oh, actually, no, it's still fine. Oh, here we go. So there is an 8. You do have a point for the generator. You are so right. Hang on a second. Let me just double check. I'm just checking how many points you get for it. So you get 3 victory points. So we're going to use these as victory points. Oh. Wise. Let me put those in there so we know. Out of 7. You need 7. Remember, one of these is worth 5. So you're already, a good proportion of the way of completing, which is good. So with Skylar, she's got the 8. That would allow her to do her attack, which is 1 hit point. So she could take out the turret. And also, because of that, because of using the purple and the blue dice, she would heal herself as well. Yep, I thought so. So that is good. She's there. You take out another turret. And you get a steam power for it. Okay. I think that's your go complete then, isn't it? Would you agree? Okay then, so my turn. And this is turn 5 now. So first of all, I get a reinforcement card. And I'm just going to play that straight away. So, lethal gas. All the attackers in a room are poisoned. Since I haven't done this before, I am going to have to find out what that means. So let's find out. Poison, poison, poison. Where's poison? So when an effect leaves a character poisoned, place a wound marker and a stunned marker on that character's card. Right, and this is all attackers in the room. Wow. So you are both stunned and wounded. So, damage, 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 stun, stun, stun. I actually should put that there. So, you're effectively not going to get... Will that work out you don't get a turn then? Let me just check it. Right, so actually, when you are stunned, so when you wake up, you have to lose one of your dice per character, as I will have to do so when my character wakes up. So you did the attack, she got stunned. Yes, we're going to we're kind of going to go through a round where we've got no characters in. That's a little bit weird. Yeah, okay. So lethal gas has been done. No, it's... I'm going to use those there. And do that. Okay. And what I'm also going to do is play another card, which is place a turret or change a turret into a Mark II turret. Not this turn. She will do... Well, that's the thing. Yes, I suppose she would do, because you're going to wake up on the next turn, aren't you? How's that going to work? Because you stunned her in the last go, so I couldn't use her. Yes. Yeah, so she's going to wake up here, but only going to have one of her dice. Let's get this turret in place. So, Mark 1 turret. Cha-ching. Yep, so she's back in the game, but she's only got one dice for the time being. Next round, next turn, she'll have 2 dice. You guys, I'm going to just lie you down, actually. That's probably the easiest thing. So you're all stunned. And when you wake up on your next go, you will have to lose one of your dice, but only for that round. But you've all still got health. Okay, so the only thing I can do now is use the turret and use Dolly. Well, Dolly needs 8+, so Dolly's doing nothing, right? But the turret can potentially get that 5. So let's see. Not with a dice roll like that, it can't. So Turret was no good. Dolly can't do anything with her dice roll. So it is now your go. So you get a magic card first. Ooh, Zumba. Zumba adds 1 magic dice to your pool. If the character becomes unconscious, discard this card. So who? Zumba is a little pal. Who's gonna have Zumba? Skylar, Dwayne, or Vikia? Skylar gets him, okay. So that gives you an extra dice, but now you've got to lose 1 dice. So let's take those. What you're losing off Skylar, the purple or the blue? We'll take the stunned off because you are awake for the now. These guys can stand back up. Yeah, so we'll put that there. Your dice will come back next turn. Let's take a look at some of your cards. You can heal 2 life points to one of your characters. Resolve a room straight away. Give mental health. Here we go. Dodge. Ignore all the damages suffered by a character in the last attack. So, by fairness, if you wanted to play that card, because you could have done that immediately, it could resolve one of your characters, bringing them back to full health. So you've got 2 health-based... So dodge on Vikia. Okay, so Vikia gets that and she doesn't have the damage. So she's okay. So that uses the dodge. And you want to heal Dwayne. So you'll lose... He's only got 1 point. So you lose 1 of them. It's up to you. That's okay, yes. All right then. So Dwayne is at full fighting force. All right. So that's you using your cards. You picked a card to do that. Okay then. So now it is up to you what you want to do. You, of course, have got your movement to start off with. So you can either clear out the room or you can start coming into this room. So Vikia is south and then southwest. Okay. Hello, love minis. How are you? I hope you're well. This is Smog Riders. So hopefully you've been seeing me painting up Skylar, the mermaid, the little chibi. Well, this is the actual game that she's part of. And in fact, she is actually playing in the game. But of course, this is the board game version of the character, not the resin miniature. So I need to sort out her trident. Okay, so you're just doing one small move and now you want to roll dice. Okay, so we have those 2 dice, that 1 dice, and we have those 2 dice. Okay, what have we got? So let's take a look. Those two could be used for one hit for Skylar and to be able to heal herself. And then for... Oh, it's a tough one. That's 6. Vikia needs 7. Four, 5. That's 9. 5, 6, 7. Okay. So you couldn't heal Skylar, but you could still do an attack. But you could then use Vikia to stun Dolly again. So you want 2 attacks without the bonuses, yeah? So, are you happy with that? So this would be Skylar. She wouldn't get a bonus, she would just get her attack. Yeah, and this is Vikia, who could stun Dolly and hit her. Yeah, I think that looks probably the best, doesn't it? Okay, so Dolly's stunned. And she takes a damage. And she takes another damage. In fact, does that mean Dolly's dead? Did I not put damage on Dolly the last time around, or did I heal her? Oh, you want to attack the turret, so it's only 1 damage against Dolly. Okay. So that's gone, which gives you another steam power. Steam generator attack. No, because you needed all of your dice to do the attacks. You'd still need to have dice to basically do a steam generator. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's you done then, yes? My turn. Okay. So I'm going to take my defense card. Okay, and I'm going to play it straight away. Scorch. Place a turret or transform an existing turret into a flamethrower. Oh, but... Oh, damn, you blew up the turret, didn't you? Ah. Jigga, 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 jigga. Okay, so we got another turret out. Just got to check now. So I'm just checking. Is this turn 6? I think it is, isn't it? So I get 1 minion and 1 turret. And so, jigga, 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 jigga. And now we're going to go a minion. Let's find somebody that we like. There we go. Yeah, there are 2 turrets because I drew a card to allow me to place a turret, and then now, as my reinforcements, I get to place a minion and a turret. And so my minion is Amelia Steen. There with her little jetpack. And so she's gonna zoom on in just there. She's not a vampire. Okay, so Dolly's up with her 1 dice. Okay then, so let's do this. So we're going to roll for the turrets. So 5s or more on the turrets takes the shots. Am I just absolutely lousy at dice rolls or what? Yep. Nay good. Okay, so turrets, no effect. So now, because they're working together, we've got Dolly Tombstone and Amelia Steen. Oh. Oh. So we have the 8 needed for Amelia's Steen. And that 3 does nothing. So that means Amelia can do 1 point of damage. Well, she is going to be shooting at Skylar. Skylar's now down, but 2 points of damage against her. Okay. So now your guys have got all their dice back again. I'm just going to leave that there because unless we actually get to go down that way. Okay then, so you get to have a magic card before we start. And you get Mass Cure. 1 health to all your characters. So at the moment, only Skylar is down by 2 health. Everybody else is fine. You have a plan. Remember, this is now effectively turn 6. There's only 2 more turns to go. So you've got to get these plans and get out of here. Oh, actually, sorry. I should be putting that there. There we go. Remember, you can use your blue dice, sacrifice your blue dice to get 2 extra movement points in that turn. So Skylar is south-south pick up. 1, 2, and she picks up the item. Okay, so that's her free movement. Right, but remember, she's now got to face this room. So you've still got to use the other characters if you wish. Dwayne is south and southwest. So south, southwest. And Vikia is southwest, south, close the door. You mean southeast? South, close the door. Yeah, it's okay, I'm with you. Okay, so you've boxed yourself into this room. Let us see what's in the room. Shock defenses. So you've got to score 23. Attackers penalty, the attackers are stunned, or you get to draw 2 reward cards. And I'm going to be really mean on you. Is I'm going to add to this that there is a defense reinforcement. So there is an addition. So if you, now these dice, just double check on it. Oh, back over this side. So it's an alarm curse dice. So I will take a card if we roll any of those numbers. So it'll be increasing the potential of my cards. And let's just to make sure you've got nothing that... Oh, here we go, here we go. You could use your deactivate card. Resolve immediately in an active room. So that's something to consider. Yes, please. Oh, how nice. Okay then, so that deactivates, and that deactivates everything. Vum, 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 vum. Awesome stuff. Okay. So your reward is 2 cards. So you get valuable information, win 2 victory points. Ha! So 1 and 2. And the next card. Oh my goodness, 3 victory points. Somebody's not shuffled these. 1, 2, 3. So 3, 6, 8. You've got 8 points there. Right? Plus, you've also got, in fact, you've got 13 points. So you have all the points you need, but you've got to get out of the base now. Let me just double check. Hang on a second. Oh no, sorry. The game automatically ends when one player gets 7 victory points. So you've won. Use the force to get out. No, that's it. You've yes. Wow. Let me just drain life. Yeah. That was just really fortunate. 2 cards. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think that you need some sort of like steam-powered teleporter now to beam up your characters. Well, congratulations. Well done. So what do you think? Did you enjoy it? So what's really nice about it, there are a number of scenarios in the manual that obviously, so this was the first part of the game as far as having to steal these plans. It's very Star Warsy. Steal the plans and get out to stop this gun being developed. But all of the tiles are reversible, so they all have different artwork on them, so you can create different rooms, different connecting areas, depending on how you lay out the map, how you want it to be. Yeah, I mean, it's a dungeon crawl sort of style of game with dice management. I think that's the fun part of it, because we didn't really get to use. So here we go. I mean, again, there's only so much I can communicate in any given sort of game. So there's secondary skills. So there's an ability that Vikia's got that if you roll a dice, you've got to roll another dice and get the same value, and roll another dice and get the same value. And if you do that, she instantly resolves a room. Right? But of course, it's all down to your dice rolls. So the dice management is very big. Dwayne, secondary skill is roll a 5 or more to heal 1 health. And with Skylar, secondary skill 6+. So in other words, you know, obviously within 2 dice to heal 1 health, and if you use one of the purple dice, all of the teammates in the room get 1 health. Right? So there's definitely elements to the characters, to the attacking characters, that are very unique, and of course that's where you've got to have created a really great team. I do think if we had another player with another 3 characters, that would definitely have taken the game up to another level. But as you can see, I mean, it's 9:20 now. It would have obviously increased the amount of playing time. So I think that we'd have to be careful. So yes, so this is a great game. There's quite a lot. There's a lot of tactics behind it. As you say, dice management is very, very cool. And then of course, as you've seen already, but you get awesome minis. So this was my team that I could pick from. And you've seen some of these characters already, but all of these are very, very paintable miniatures. Lots and lots of character to them, all unique. So I'm going to have great fun working my way through these, painting them up. Let's and of course, you're aware that Colonel Clayton and where is he? There we go. Marpouche. They will be available as their resin miniatures as the giveaway at the end of the month. But you know, you have Charlotte Page, librarian, Patty Wrench, mechanic, Arturcus, the scientisty type of guy. Reiko Takada, an assassin, I'm going to call her. And then Boris, some sort of wrestling strongman. So they're considered all the good characters. Am I doing a YouTube movie? I think I might edit this together and put it up there. I think it'd be worth people to be able to take a look at it. Right then. So I think that's going to call it a night. Thank you very much for playing, Snowyak. It was a pleasure to be beaten by you. And of course we will see you to continue the painting of Skylar later this week. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you all have a good evening. Let's go to that. There we go. Thanks, Slitter. Take care. And goodbye for now.